What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing an everyday makeup tutorial. So I'm going to go in depth with exactly how I do my makeup, and I'm going to go in depth on my contour and everything that I do on a daily basis. So if you want to see how I do my makeup every day, keep on watching. Alright guys, so the first thing I do on a daily basis is I prime my face before I put any makeup on. This just makes sure that there's a layer between my face and the makeup I'm putting on, just to save my face from all the makeup that I'm going to be putting on my face. Also, this primer, the POREfessionals Primer by Benefit, it is a mattifying primer. However, I love how it feels on my face. It feels very moisturizing. So I put it in my T-zone mostly, which is my forehead, my nose, and my cheeks, because that's where my pores are the largest. And then I just work the rest all over my face. The next thing I do is I take my NYX HD Photogenic Studio Concealer in the shade green. The reason I'm even putting anything green on my face in the first place is because green cancels out redness on your face. If any of my foundation is too sheer in one part or it moves around during the day, I don't want the redness of my face. So since the greenness cancels it out, I put it on the parts of my face that get red, and then I blend it out with a beauty blender. Now my everyday foundation is my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. It is in the shade 110. I squirt a little bit on the back of my hands, and then I go ahead and I take my flat top brush, and how I put on my foundation is I put a little bit of product on the brush to start, and I stipple it all over my face just so that the product is spread evenly around my face, and then I use circular motions to blend it all over my face. You want to make sure that it is even, there's not too much in one part, it's not too sheer in other parts, and you want to make sure that you really blend it down the neck so that your face is in a different color than the rest of your body, and just make sure that the foundation is evenly spread out all over your face. The next thing, I know you guys are so tired of me talking about this, I use my Tarte Tape Shape Concealer, and I don't really use concealer to hide my under eye circles. I use it to highlight my face. So I put it under my eyes, on my chin, on my nose, and sometimes on my forehead. And this just really helps to brighten those areas of my face and highlight the high points of my face. And I just like how it gives my face some extra dimension and extra depth. This is not necessary in your everyday routine, but this is just what I like to do in my everyday routine. And then of course I take a beauty blender and I blend that all out. You want to make sure you don't use a color too light, because then you will look crazy funny. I'm in the shade tan, by the way. I also put it on top of my eyelids because it will act as a primer for my eyeshadow later. But to set all my liquid makeup, I use my Fiona Styles powder, and I'm in the shade 07 to 08. It's an invisible finish loose setting powder. It comes with a little puff, and it's got a sifter in it so that the powder doesn't spill all over the place when you open it. But the reason that I set my liquid foundation is because I want to keep it from moving around during the day, and I want to just lock my foundation and my concealer into place. I set underneath my eyes with my beauty blender. This is the Real Techniques dupe for the beauty blender. It's got the flat top, and I love that to set under my eyes and my eyelids. And then I take a fluffy brush and I use whatever excess is in the lid, and I put it on the rest of my face. This will also help. I have really oily skin. It will help to soak up that oil during the day so your face doesn't look like an oil slick 3 hours after you've done your makeup. And dance break. Okay, so my favorite contour powder is in my Power of Makeup by Nikkie Tutorials palette. It is called Chocolate Soleil. It is this cool tone brown that I didn't think was going to work for my skin tone, but I love it. And I take it from my cheekbone, the top of my cheekbone, to like right where the apple of my cheek starts, and I just blend that powder in circular motions, and make sure that it doesn't look like too harsh of a line. You want it to blend in and look like a natural shadow on your face, which changes your face shape and it gives your face dimension and depth. And of course, underneath the chin, because it makes you look slimmer and it gives the illusion you have a sharper chin than you have, and who does not want to look thinner? But you can clearly see the difference between my contoured side and my non-contoured side. I look rounder on the side that's not contoured. So I'm just going to do that on the other side too, because I gotta match. And then I'm going to take my Tarte blush in the shade Royal. It is not too pink. It's kind of brownish actually. I use this every day because I like to bring some color back to my face after I've just completely gotten rid of all my color using concealers and foundation, but I don't want it too pinky, like my cheeks too rosy. I just want a little color on my cheeks. And then I take my Laura Geller highlight in the shade Ballerina. I love this highlight because it's got like a bronzy golden undertone, so when I put it on my face, it's not like a white highlight. It's more of just like a natural highlight for me, and I put that right above where I put my blush on the high points of my cheeks. It's just a little extra pop. The next thing I do is my eyebrows. I use my ColourPop Black and Brown eye pencil. Now I always struggled with eye pencils because they were either not pigmented enough or too soft, but I absolutely adore this pencil. It comes with a spoolie on the other end, and then you have to roll the top and the pencil comes out at the top, and it's the perfect shade, perfect consistency, and it's very forgiving. If I mess up, I can just wipe it away and it's just great. For my eyebrows, the first thing I do is I shape them and then I fill them in. Everybody has different shapes, so I'm not going to tell you what shape to do, but if you have very thin eyebrows, maybe not shape them so much as fill them in. But for me, I like to shape them how I want them first and then fill them in. As you can see, eyebrows take patience, but it will be worth it in the end. So for my eyeshadow, I use two palettes on a daily basis, or whenever I do my makeup. I use my Custom Buxom palette, and I use my Nubian palette by Juvia's Place. My Buxom palette, I customized all the shadows and made my own palette. I have 3 shades that are, I guess, neutral colors, and then 3 shimmery shades depending on my mood. And then my Nubian palette by Juvia's Place has some mattes and some shimmers, but it's a neutrals palette for the most part. So I'm going to start off in my Nubian palette, and I'm going to just take a crease brush, and I'm going to take this dark red shade right here, this brownie reddish shade, and I'm going to put that in my crease. It's going to be my transition shade. So the whole point of a transition shade in the crease is to basically, it's a starting point for you to do the rest of your makeup, and the whole reason I'm going to darken up my crease later is to give my eye some dimension and some depth. But the first thing I do is add a transition color, and then I go back in with this dark brown and I put that back in the crease to deepen up my crease, as I said earlier, and you can already tell that my eyes are looking more defined. I like to take a little bit of black and put that on the outer edge to give it the most definition, and then my thing is to go ahead and take a shimmery shade and put it all over the lid. I love how a natural colored crease and a beautiful sparkly lid looks. And then I go ahead and I take the darker colors that I used in my crease, and I kind of make an outer V shape on the outside of my eyelid, just so that I can make the eye look a little more smoky. I also take those dark colors that I used in my crease and on my outer V, and I take a small detailer brush and I put them underneath my lower lash line, just so that I can make the eye look cohesive and have what's on top, on the bottom. And then I put a super light shade on my inner corner just to give my eyes some pop and make myself look more awake. Then of course, I take my Better Than Sex mascara. Lately I've been feeling my traditional one instead of my waterproof one, but I take that and I coat my lashes. Just a word of caution, don't get too cocky when you're putting on your mascara, because it would be a tragedy if you poked yourself in the eye, and it would hurt. I guarantee you. So just take your time when putting on your mascara. And then I go on to my everyday lipstick, which is my Tarteist lip paint in the shade FOMO. I love this lipstick. I've talked about it before. It is a matte liquid lipstick. However, it does not dry down matte all the way. It gives some moisture to the lips, which I love for an everyday look. And that is the end of this tutorial. Thank you guys so much for watching another video. If you have any suggestions for any other upcoming videos, please leave those down in the comments below. See you guys next time. Bye!